Yasu Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Dentist. All right, Mr. Michael, if you could just sit right back and we'll check on your teeth. Okay, no problem, doctor. You are a doctor, right? I mean that's a big misconception, you know. I mean, a lot of people, you know, they say a dentist is a doctor, but you know, it's not like you perform brain surgery or anything. You know, I'm not trying to offend you, you know, before you brutally hack my teeth. You know, I'm just curious. I mean, what's your opinion on that? Ow! Oh, fuck! Oh! Oh! Oh, 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 oh. 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 Oh, I get a free toothbrush. Okay, see you again in 6 months. Thank you very much. And scene. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to think that my Second City training did not go to waste in that description of what an episode at the dentist could be, but I've never really experienced that. Me personally, I think you got to go to the dentist to make sure your teeth are okay, not cracked, no cavities. Make sure you brush on a regular basis, especially during these tough times, because let's be honest, there's nothing else to do but sit in your home and eat, and of course you're going to keep rotting your teeth after the beautiful Halloween and all the Ferrero Rochers and turtles that you get during Christmas time. But again, it's very important that you take care of your teeth. And like I said before, every 6 months, it's very important for you to go to the dentist. But what does a dentist actually mean? I mean, does it mean that you have to go there and be tortured throughout an hour or 2 or 3, and you're looking up in space, and you know, it's kind of like getting probed, but just in your mouth? And you know, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Let's go to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and check out what the world of the dentist, or what the meaning and the world both mean on planet Earth. A dentist, also known as a dental surgeon, is a surgeon who specializes in dentistry. That makes sense. The diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of diseases and conditions of the oral cavity. The dentist's supporting team aids in providing oral health services. The dental team includes dental assistants, dental hygienists, dental technicians, and sometimes dental therapists. That's right. For an extra $50, you can leave your teeth there, and they can be analyzed, like Tony Soprano and Dr. Melfi. I don't know, Doc. Sometimes, you know, he just makes me eat, and you know, is it worth it? And you know, sometimes it looks like I'm wearing a yellow coat, and I've been eating corn, and you know, I just don't think he treats me properly. I guess what me and my white friends here are trying to say is, can you please just talk to him and just tell him it's very important to brush your teeth at least 2 to 3 times a day? That's what they say. That's what I've heard, you know. But there's times, let's be honest. I mean, we're lucky if we brush our teeth once a day. I'm not saying that's me. I brush my teeth very, very thoroughly. A lot of people do it in 30 seconds. I like to do it anywhere between 45 to 60 seconds. Make sure you brush the tongue. A lot of people always forget that. Make sure you do behind the teeth too. A lot of people forget that. And the back teeth. Because just because you're not first in line, that doesn't mean you don't matter. It's very, very important. You brush in a circular motion, not so much up and down, but just make sure that your teeth are presentable. And let's be honest, right before we go to the dentist, we try to fool them. We brush our teeth right before, but they know. They know. Anyways, it says here in the Middle Ages, in China as well as France, the first people to perform dentistry were barbers. Say, what? Now that, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not surprised. Because, back in the day, where we wiped our asses with leaves, you usually find one guy or one girl or whatever, to do everything for you, It's like that scene in Almost Heroes. Almost Heroes is Chris Farley's last movie. It's not his best one, I'll admit to that. But there's a funny scene where, this one guy, just cleans him up and he says, hey, I got this one, problem with my tooth. Can you pop it out? So, and he popped it out, funny fashion like Farley always did. I think the other guy was a Canadian dude too. But anyways, but yeah, there'd always be a person that would do like everything, pull teeth, build a couch. I don't know. Did they have gutters back then? You can get the leaves out so you can have more to wipe your ass. I don't know. The point is, this person would do it all. So I'm not surprised. May I continue? Sure. They have been categorized into two distinct groups, Guild of Barbers and Lay Barbers. The first group, the Guild of Barbers, was created to distinguish more educated and qualified dental surgeons from lay barbers. Guild barbers were trained to do complex surgeries. The second group, the lay barbers, were qualified to perform regular hygienic services, such as shaving and tooth distraction, as well as basic surgery. So, I'm no dentist myself. But from what I'm hearing is it's basically the difference of who got the better drugs to knock you out. Once the person's out, remember that episode of Seinfeld? Remember Bryan Cranston before he was Walter White? I am the danger. He was a dentist. And he converted to Judaism for the jokes, but whatever. He would knock out Jerry, and I think they were implying that they would have sex in front of him, with their assistants, and they would swap with other dentists. And I don't know if this is true. Like I've never actually seen this. I've never been actually knocked out in a dentist chair. Hopefully one day. Why not? But yeah. However, in the 1400s, France made decrees prohibiting lay barbers from practicing all types of surgery. In Germany, as well as France, from 1530 to 1575, publications completely devoted to dentistry were being published. Ambrose Paré, it's got the accent on the, often known as the father of surgery, published his own work about the proper maintenance and treatment of teeth. Ambrose Paré was a French barber surgeon who performed dental care for multiple French monarchs. He is often credited with having raised the status of barber surgeons. There you go. Didn't they say like George Washington had like wooden teeth or something, but that ended up being a rumor or something? I don't know why I'm saying this randomly, but again, you got to start somewhere, and this guy had a lot to do with the whole practice in general. So there you go. Now it says here modern dentistry. Pierre Fauchard of France is often referred to as the father of modern dentistry for being the first to publish a scientific textbook in 1728 on the techniques and practices of dentistry. Over time, trained dentists immigrated from Europe to the Americas to practice dentistry, and by 1760, America had its own native-born practicing dentists. Newspapers were used at the time to advertise and promote dental services. The internet wasn't out? No. In America from 1768 to 1770, the first application of dentistry to verify forensic cases was being pioneered. This was called forensic dentistry. With the rise of dentists, there were also the rise of new methods to improve the quality of dentistry. These new methods included the spinning wheel to rotate a drill and chairs made specifically for dental patients. I know, guys, it's really fascinating stuff here. I get it. Basically, look, when you're performing any kind of surgery, it doesn't matter if you consider a dentist a doctor, like I said before, who cares, okay? Don't fuck with these guys. You know, they're putting a lot of expensive shit in your mouth, you know, to make you feel better. You don't know when your tooth is gonna pop out one time. I'm gonna get into my stories later. They're fascinating. But again, you know, if you go into, you know, what do you call it? The real doctors of doctorisms. It's not like they have a dining room table there and they're like, hey, just lay on this. I'll put some paper towel down. No, you got to have the whole chair. You know, this chair looks like, you ever been to Canada's Wonderland and like they have the Days of Thunder ride? You know, it's one of like those chairs. You know, it's all like, you know, hydraulics and shit. And, you know, they tell you to move this way and move that way. And, you know, it's kind of comfortable. But then like these chairs look like they were made in like, I don't know, like 1972, you know, because they got that kind of weird greenish look for some reason. And, you know, they always look a little worn, but, you know, you're like, whatever. And then they got the weird tubes, you know, that they're kind of yellowish, whatever. I mean, they look like they just milked a cow. And, you know, you're like, okay, whatever. You know, I trust you. I trust you. You know, I already paid you, so whatever. But, yeah, you got to make sure they got good shit going there, obviously, you know. You don't want to get a cavity. Do you want to get a cavity? I recently got a cavity, okay? I'm 38 years old. Thank you. I don't look it. And, you know, it was a pain in the ass, man. I mean, it really fucking hurt. I mean, it felt like, it was probably the worst pain I mean, you know, other than dealing with certain women, it's the worst pain I have ever had to deal with. I'm just kidding. It was way worse than that. You know, Spanish girls love to argue. The point is, it really hurt, and it felt like, you know, Mike Tyson was just like punching my teeth like for hours. It just fucking killed, man. You know, forget, like, I love cold drinks. I love ice. Fuck that. That's gone for the next few days. You know, and you're just hoping, you know, the dentist can see you. And I went in there and, you know, I told him, look, doc, I have a cavity. I got a sweet tooth. You know, I love my candy. I'm not going to give it up, you know. But at the same time, I got, you know, a little slacking a little bit there on brushing my teeth. And I know it's bad and blah, 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 you know. And I'm like, okay, so you know, I'm just joking with him. I'm like, you know what you're doing, right? You've done this before. He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I'm laying in there, and you know, he's like, okay, this is you know, this is not good. I'm like, okay, well, can you fix it? He's like, yeah, no problem. So I'm like, cool, you know, I'm just laying there, whatever. And I mean, that's the trippy thing, you know, like when you're laying there, you know, you just feel exposed. You know, you're just laying there and you're like, hey, you know, can I can you put in this one room they put you in, by the way, I'm doing this during COVID, which is even more fun, because then they ask you a bunch of shit, do you have COVID? Are you going to die? Do you like sneezing in people's faces for no reason? Just bullshit stuff. And of course I don't have it. I go in there, and then of course you could go in there with the mask, like you do everywhere else. And it's almost like a secret society. Like you have to wait outside, and then you knock on the door, and I don't know. The password is toothy, and I'm like, cool. You go in there, they give you another thing that you got to fill out. I'm like, I just filled this out online. Do it again? Sure, why not? Waste time. And I'm sitting there, wondering, how did I get to this point? Why didn't I brush my teeth more? It's just crazy. I got to start brushing. I have flashbacks of my grandpa, and, he was wearing, the whole dentures and Polident, and, he had a really cool mustache, but I mean, his teeth were just brutal, absolutely brutal. Rest in peace, Bapu. We miss you, man. So, I'm just sitting there, and then they call you in, I'm like, okay, can I use the bathroom first? Just in case, you never know. I mean, it's one of those things where, it's like going on the TTC, which in Toronto is the Toronto Transit Communications. I don't know. We just call it a shitty subway. So, I take a piss, I look in the mirror, and I go, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I do a little prayer. Hopefully everything works out, and then I sit down, and I'm like, doc, dentist, whatever you want to be called, do your thing. And it's cool, you're just lying there, everything's nice, again, it's during COVID, so like you go in there and everything is just like wrapped in plastic, I'm Italian, so I'm used to sitting on things that are covered in plastic, but I'm like, just, do your thing, be gentle, you're not gonna knock me out, are you? No, that's cool, okay. But then you're lying there, and they got a TV right there, and he could have put on Sports Central. He didn't, he just left it blank, whatever. Sometimes you go to these doctors' offices and they just play those like stupid ads, and it's just better with nothing. And they put Mr. Thirsty in, which I always like that term. They got that from Seinfeld again with the Seinfeld reference. I love that show. Kramer's just, getting sucked from the tube there, and, do you ever like wonder, like, they put the shit in your mouth, and like, do you ever wonder, like, where has the shit been? Obviously they're not using a fresh one every time. Obviously they have it cleaned and stuff, but like, how often do they really clean, and like, how well do they clean this shit? The OCD starts kicking in. And you kind of just got to turn your brain off, and, hopefully the brownie, that I had a half hour before kicks in anytime soon. And you're like, okay, let me just relax. Let me just, take all this in, forget, she dropped it on the floor 5 minutes before I came in. I don't know, just whatever. Just turn your brain off, just relax. Okay. So, of course, they do the whole, the pick thing, which is always fun, by the way, because it doesn't matter how hard you brush your teeth, she will always find more shit on there, and just scraping away, and that metal on your teeth, it's, oh man, it's that weird feeling, it makes you cringe, but you can't cringe because you're in this, 50-year-old chair, and you're just relaxing, and you're not really relaxing, your ass is all clenched up, and you're like, oh fuck, but they still find shit, and then they wipe it on the little napkin there, and you're like, wow, this is on my teeth, some bubble tape from 1992, and and what's weird is like they try to talk to you too, so like, but at the same time, I forgot to mention this, like you're lying there, and they put the I don't know, the green bounty on you, and they give you these like welder shades, and it just and they're trying to talk back to you, back and forth, and have a good conversation, and like your mouth is closed, sometimes, but for the most part, it's open, because because you're in a dentist chair, and how the fuck are you supposed to talk about all this shit in there, and you want to close it, and you think it's not wide enough, and she tells you open wider, please, and then you think of that scene in the movie Coneheads. I always liked the skits better on Saturday Night Live. I mean, the movie was okay; it had a lot of cameos, whatever. But then, like, John Lovett's there is working on Dan Aykroyd, and he stretches out his mouth, and it's like, fucking looks like the Grand Canyon of teeth, and hey man, you do what you got to do, and you just talk to them back and forth, and you try to, but all this like spit is, and that's another thing, all this spit's flying out of your mouth, and you got the tube there, and and like just like with me, like a lot of saliva builds up, it's just it's just like rivers of cream soda is just coming out and just spitting out all over the place, and it's just disgusting. I feel so bad for them. Like, you hear about dentists having like the highest suicide rate in any profession out there, and I don't blame them. It is fucking disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. So, anyways, I'm there, and it's always funny too. Like I always feel more bad for the assistants than I do the actual dentist, because I feel like the assistant does like at least 80 to 85% of the work, and the dentist just comes in there, and it's like that movie like 12 Years a Slave. The whole time he's trying to like get out, and then like right at the end of the thing, like Brad Pitt's like, yeah, sure, I'll write you a letter. He just swoops in there, and he's like the hero. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, okay, and he gets more money too. All right, cool. So she's like cleaning up there, whatever. The hose is in my mouth, and she's still cleaning a little bit there, doing a little prep, whatever, and then it was a big ass cavity, man. I mean, it was bad, it looked like an open wound, it looked like you could have sewn it up or something. And I'm like, all right, one every 38 years, I can live with that shit. I don't know. The last time my dad went to the dentist, I remember one time he picked me up, and he's like, yeah, I just came from the dentist. Yeah, I only had 7 cavities. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But anyways, it runs in the family, I guess. Okay, so anyways, man, they want to get champions. So, he's doing his thing there, just, filling it in, still trying to talk to me. Nobody realizes that I can't say anything back, maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's a way of like trying to relax the person, Because as you're laying in that chair, I mean, I've been to different dentists, and I remember the first one I went to was like you just lay there, and he had these like I don't know, these shapes like in the thing, whatever. Like it felt like you were back in the crib. Yeah, you had the thing dangling there. I don't know what the fuck it's called, and but this one just had shapes, and it was like a big circle. Like, oh, the square's going this way, a circle's going that way. So I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be psychological or something. I don't know. Like. I don't know, like, the circle means a cavity and it's going that way, and your tooth is going that way, and you should never collide, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But the point is, it's something to just keep your mind off the shit, So this one did not have anything. He just had the dentist and ranting on about something, and I don't know, he tried to make a joke at one point, and, it's always awkward when, like, you're laying there, and, like, the guy's, like, we were both kind of hefty guys, I guess, and I don't know, like at one point, it felt like my head was on the guy's breast, and it was just awkward, But at the same time, he's like, oh yeah, move left, please. I don't know why I made him British all of a sudden, but yeah. He filled in the shit, and the worst thing is when they put that shit in to make you numb. I believe it's called Novocaine. it sucks, man, because it feels like you have the fattest lip. And the worst part was afterwards, I was like, I thought my lip was fine, but I couldn't feel myself like biting my own lip, and it was just fucking horrible, man. I mean, like, the next day I woke up with a big cut in my lip, and I could still smoke, which is nice. But yeah, it sucks. But after all that bullshit, like I said before, they give you a nice toothbrush. They give you a little, yeah, that's kind of the insulting thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, like you go to certain places, you can get a tube of toothpaste for $1. Like, you can't just give me like a full size tube, really. I mean, your bill is like 400 and something bucks. You can't just throw in a big full size, tube of toothpaste, really, really. And then you give me the floss, but it's not the good floss with the handle. Like, I've never flossed in my life. I'm just going to put that out there. Floss is when you take the plastic shit and you put it in between your teeth. I'm Greek and Italian. I just use toothpicks. So, And that was a funny part in, remember the movie Kingpin with Michael Keaton and Randy Quaid? I don't know. I kind of look like Randy Quaid now. But anyways, I always thought he was a funny guy. I don't know. He killed a bunch of aliens. Anyways, and there's a scene where he's doing the floss, and there's like all these big, huge chunks of food in there, and who knows what's in my teeth? I don't know. You could find a Slim Jim, a Nintendo cartridge. Who the fuck knows? But it is important to floss. If you're into that sort of thing. I'm not. That's So they give you that, a little thing of toothpaste, the toothbrush, the little floss thing, and they give you a massive bill. That's basically what it was like during that time for me going to the dentist. But then for the most part, you just go there for a routine check. You want to go there and just, hey, how's my teeth? Okay, cool, no worries. This one only cost you $230. Oh, thanks, bud. But yeah, I went there one time, and this little woman came in. I don't know. She basically looked like Little Miss Sunshine without the glasses, and she just comes in there, and I'm like, sorry, can we just I just have to ask you something. Please don't get offended. How old are you? And she looked like she was 12. And she's like, no, I'm older. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you convinced me. So I just had to make sure that, because again, someone goes into your teeth and is just drilling away there. You want to know, like, did they, like, what if a dentist had a bad day, and then they're going to take it out on your teeth, or, you don't call them a real doctor. I mean, they're going to fucking go to town on you. So I had to make sure of that. Again, they try to talk to you. What I'm trying to say about the talking here is that I can't talk to you back. I remember there was the last time I went there, she just kept talking and talking, and I don't mind, it's cool, but what was funny is, like, afterwards I was like, okay, so let me just review everything you just said. I don't floss, so that's that. My teeth seem to be okay. They naturally have a yellow gloss. Thank you for asking. And if you if you have any further questions about my breath or anything, you can just tell me, and please give me a chance to answer. That's all I ask. The conversation seemed a little one-sided. And again, like, water is just spitting out of my mouth. Like, that fucking vacuum shit does nothing. It does nothing. Nothing. I'm spitting out vodka from 2005. Like, it fucking doesn't do anything. Nothing. So the cavity, okay, we took care of that. Normal routine, go in there, thank you very much. Here's another toothbrush, add it to the pile, no problem. So, another time, I had to get my wisdom tooth out, which was a major pain in me assholes. And like, first of all, I go in there, and again, like I said, like they always have something there to distract you from the pain, whatever. And they had this painting there, and it was it looked like a cool abstract painting, whatever. It looked like sort of one of those paintings where, like, remember in the '90s, you had to like look at it a certain way, and I don't know, you see Luigi or something, and like remember in Seinfeld with, you guys sick of these Seinfeld references yet? Anyways, but yeah, like Elaine destroyed the picture of, it wasn't Mr. Peterman, it was the other dude. I forgot. But yeah, it was, you have to look in a certain way, and, same thing in Mallrats, he eventually sees the sailboat. Really? The fuck was that? I think a tooth fell out. Anyway, oh, you know what? That's a trippy thing too. In your dreams, if you lose teeth, that means like you're decaying, you're dying or something. So, good luck with that. Anyways, so I'm looking at this picture, and I like, again, this is gonna look like a really bad Italian stereotype, but he's like, yeah, it's a great picture. I'm like, yeah, man, I see Rocky. And he's like, what? I see Rocky. And it looked, because like part of it was white, then you had like, black on top there. It looked like he was wearing the trunks, and he looked like Rocky. And he's like, oh, I've never seen this before. I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. Okay, righto. All right, let's pull some teeth. So, laying there, and again, that Novocaine, man. Whew, Jesus Christ. Where are you during New Year's? But anyways, yeah, just laying there and just enjoying the show. At one point I was bored. I just started singing the Canadian anthem. I started moving my feet. I don't know. They loved it. And then afterwards, here's the weird thing. Now, obviously, something that is attached to you, last time I checked, is your property. And he said, anything else I could do? I'm like, yeah, can I have my tooth? And he goes, what? I'm like, yeah, I want my tooth. And he goes, well, I don't think we can do that. I'm like, it's my tooth. I want it. And he goes, well, we don't usually do that. I'm like, well, then today's a special day. And then he gave me the tooth, which, with a little bit of a fight for some reason. I don't know what these guys are doing with their these teeth. I don't know, them and the tooth fairy are making money or something. But I don't know. Yeah. So hey, I want my tooth. I'm like I told you I saw Rocky there. Let's get this shit going here. I gotta go home and do nothing. So he gives me the tooth, and the thing was fucking huge, man. I mean, like, like you see these old like Three Stooges skits, like when Curly got his tooth pulled and whatever, and it doesn't look anything like a Tic Tac. I mean, it's it looks like a sugar cube on steroids. It's got a huge root, and that's what she said. Sorry, and it's split in half, and mark my words, one day I'm gonna have it goldenized, and I'm gonna get it as a necklace. So there you go. But the thing that sucked is I couldn't smoke or drink for 2 weeks, and it's funny because I think they told me that, but I don't think they really gave a shit, because I think a lot of people don't even listen to that, and I do listen to doctors. I don't listen to anybody else, but doctors, or in this case, dentists, I listen to them, and, I didn't do it. So, but it paid off. It was good. It was good. Sometimes you go to the dentist and it's just a fucking nightmare. I went to the dentist I used to go to, and, new people took it over, and, it was very, it was pretty trippy. I'm laying there. There's 4 ladies just working on me. I felt like I was found by like little dwarfs who were making cookies or something, you know. Not that they were ugly. I'm just saying, like, it was just weird because they were like all over me. Now, I know what a lot of guys were thinking. This could be anybody's fantasy, but at the same time, I was concerned because this was my old dentist, and I found out right there he retired. And it's weird when you go you see the same, doctor, in this case dentist, for a long time, and you're like, oh shit, like the guy retired. I didn't know that. Well, I'm already here, and then you're like, well, I don't know these people. But you're like, you don't want to offend them, and again, the money was already deposited, and you're like, oh shit. So, all right. The reason why I had to go is because my mom gave me this chicken. It was delicious, but it had like this weird kind of. It was supposed to be boneless, but it had this bone, and if you chomp on something like I do. I'm like a T-Rex, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna eat till I pass out at the Mandarin. But you heard a snap in the back, and that's not good, man. It's not good. So I'm like, oh shit. I got to go to the dentist, and she's paying for it, and. So it was weird because, at one point, they're just like drilling away. And that drill, man, I'm telling you, see, a lot of people are, let me just get this out of the way. A lot of people are afraid of the dentist. And at this point, I should be, but I really don't care. I don't. It's something that's natural to me. It's something that it has to happen. It does. It really just has to happen. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, if you break your leg, you gotta go to the hospital. You break a tooth, you gotta go see a dentist. Whatever, who cares? Stop being a bitch about it. So, they're drilling away, and it's just crazy because I've been in front of a couple fires, at the cottage and all that, and my mouth was smoking. I mean, it just reeked of smoke. I mean. I don't know if you guys have ever smelled burnt hair. I mean, burnt hair is way worse. But again, like you're inhaling all this shit at the same time, and I'm just like smelling pasta dishes from the '80s, and it's crazy, And again, they didn't do a good job. The thing ended up falling out, I think, like a month or two later, and then I had to get it fixed again by a different doctor. The guy who had Rocky on the wall there. And so I'll just tell you this. Make sure you know the dentist you're going to. Just make sure that they're capable. Make sure they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. You have to. You absolutely have to. Okay? Fillings, and filling is when you've got a cavity and they got to put the shit in there, and it's just they fill in your tooth. I don't know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but that's it, guys. That's it. I mean, those are my main stories for dentists. I mean, for most part, everything else worked out okay, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you do surgeries now, they don't give you candy anymore. It fucking sucks. I mean, it's a whole, I don't know, we're living in this pussy world right now. Everyone's afraid of their own shadow. You can't blame them because of COVID, but at the same time, if give me a lollipop. If you want to be a real doctor after all this shit, give me give me a red one too, okay? The cherry, not the strawberry. Just, a little, a little, what was it, the spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down? Sure, as soon as a Novocaine wears off, I guess. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Nothing. You just got to watch TV, watch movies as your tooth heals. And there's that classic Fresh Prince episode where they went to William Shatner's dentist appointment, and I don't know, they both got high on the fumes. They did the same shit in one of the Lethal Weapons. That was funny too. Even in The Hangover. I mean, the guy wanted to prove he was a dentist. So what did he do? He pulled out his own tooth. Okay? That's how high these fuckers were. Okay? The whole 9 yards, the whole 10 yards. I didn't like the first one, so I'm definitely not going to like the second one. There's a whole thing there with teeth. I don't know. If you want to watch it, go ahead. Marathon Man, something about teeth. Horrible Bosses. Now listen. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. Okay? Let's be honest. If you're in that position, are you not going to let Jennifer Aniston do what she does? Let's just be honest. Okay, I get it for a movie, you got to make it comical, but let's be honest. And apparently, a lot of people get off on going into the dentist. Yeah, I think it's these fucking weirdos that get off on pain. You know, these people that like to get hit in the head with a hammer one more time, and it's just fucking weird, man. I don't know, but again, there's things where you will see a cute a dental assistant, and actually that's what happened to me one time. So peep this, y'all. I went to the dentist, and the guy wasn't there. I don't know. This seemed to happen a lot for some reason. Like the very first dentist I went to, I don't know. He was never there for some reason. Shout out to all the assistants that do dentistry. Okay, I mean, you guys do all the work. I mean, it's it's crazy. But anyways, you guys do a great job. Most of you guys. You guys know who you are that don't do a good job. So I go there, and a simple routine. Goes in there, does a couple pick, a little, and that's another shit I hate too. When they do the green shit, the floss, whatever, in your teeth, and then you gotta rinse out after. I remember one time I did it, and I got water all over myself. It was fucking embarrassing. She laughed, I cried, and but the one time, like I was saying, a little couple picks here, a little floss there. I must have been there for, I'm not even bullshitting, like for 15 minutes. That's it. I got out of the chair, I felt fine. And I'm talking to her, and I don't know if this is just my ego. I don't know. I don't know. But I was talking to her, and you got to think, like, a lot of people, like, they see tons of mouths, and it's just fucking disgusting, one after another, a cesspool of slob and gross, slimy teeth. And, so they must know when they see a really good pair of teeth. Or tooths, That's another thing too. Like should it be called a teeth brush? Anyways, so the jokes will get better. Don't worry. So, she's, and again, like you look at the signs. I'm like the greatest thing about being not a good-looking guy is that when you get rejected so many times, when a woman is actually coming on to you. Like it's that obvious, those 99 out of 100, you're screwed. But that one, that magical one, it's there, man. It's there. So she's like, wow, I can't believe, your teeth are so nice. And she's kind of doing like the thing where like her feet or her legs are together, and like she's standing up, but like she's kind of twisting her feet and sort of like, like that sort of shit. And I'm telling you, I was seeing somebody at the time, but I am almost positive I could have fulfilled the dentist in the chair fantasy. Which leads me to the next movie, Novocaine, which Steve Martin is fucking awesome. He's hilarious. The shit he did on Saturday Night Live in his stand-up alone makes him a legend. The Jerk. I'll do a podcast on him one day. But this kind of puts the whole, I want to fuck my dentist in perspective. And that's what this movie's about. And he gets him into trouble because at the time he's seeing, someone else. And, but it's a great movie. Great movie. And that's the only movie I can really think of that's distinctively about the sexuality of the dentist atmosphere. So again, I'm not going to lie, in retrospect, the woman I saw at that time, it didn't work out. I'm not saying I would have cheated. I'm just saying I think it was there. It was there. That's all I'm saying. Okay? It was pretty cool. But what can I say to wrap this up? I mean, when you go to the dentist, just relax. It's not a big deal. It's like these people that are afraid of needles. Like, fuck off. Who cares? Okay? They put the thing in your thing. That's it. That's it. Stop complaining, okay? You see all the shit that we're going through in today's world? COVID and Trump, and he still thinks he won. If anybody needs a dentist drill to the head, Jesus Christ. Anyways, uh, just don't worry about it. Okay? Do what I do when you go to the dentist. Okay? Just lay in the chair, and it's just like anything else. Okay? Think of it like when you're, talking to a woman. Okay? Ladies, I got nothing for you. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But guys, if you're laying there in the dentist chair, just pretend, you just came. And just relax. That's it. Just chill. Lay back, let them do their thing. And that's it. Before you know it, it's over. That's it. It's very simple. There's not much to this whole dentistry, Worst case scenario, you lose some teeth, you tie a knot on it, you put it to a doorknob, close the door, boom, that's it. It's simple. Just let them do their thing. It's so simple. The bill is not simple. I can't. I mean, I'm not going to say the price for whitening your teeth, but I'll just say it's easier to buy a bottle of bleach. But yeah, just lay back and enjoy the ride, and let the dentist do their thing. Because in the end, you will feel relaxed. Like this one kid, David, after the dentist. You guys got to see this shit on YouTube. This kid is just completely out of it. It's pretty funny. Is this real life? That's great. He's got like one big tooth. That's awesome. But don't worry, buddy. You'll get more. And just be patient. And let Dr. Yankum do his thing. AKA the dentist.